YouTube, what's going on? It's Rob with Spread Splash Fragrance Reviews, and I recently got up on this house called Vertus. I picked up 4 fragrances, and if you're interested in finding out more about the house and these fragrances, please stay tuned. All right, before we get started, if you want to find out more about this particular house, you can go to virtusperfume.com. All right, so the house was founded in 1996. The founder is C10 Akat. They've got 16 offerings out currently, and those offerings are broken down into 4 different lines, okay? They're supposed to represent the different layers of earth. So they've got crust, eczema, neolith, and lava. All right, I picked up 4 fragrances. I've got Monarch, Soul Patchouli, I've got Amber Elixir, and Vanilla Oud. These are all above average releases. Nothing was like incredible, but all above average. Gray market, you can get these somewhere between like 106 to maybe like 175. That's the range for these 16 fragrances. And they've actually got one that is no longer within those 16 offerings. It's like any other house. Fragrances come out, then they get pulled. I forgot the name of that fragrance, but I think that fragrance is currently fetching, even in the gray market, about $235. I think regular price, these fragrances go for about $265. So they better be above average. First up, 2017 release, Soul Patchouli. This one surprised me. It surprised me how good this one was. When I think patchouli, I don't necessarily think signature scent. Patchouli can be kind of divisive. And the way they worked patchouli with the other notes, this one really works where it can be an all-purpose signature scent, Swiss Army knife type fragrance. All right, the way they use the patchouli in this fragrance, it's bright, it's sparkly, never really gets too earthy. It's man, it's just right. They've got green notes listed, and they don't really specifically say what the green notes are to go along with the patchouli, but it's got to be geranium. This fragrance has got this freshness to it. It's got this dryness to it. It's got like a very slight touch of smoke, and it's just so well put together. It's not amazing, but it's a very good release, and I think this could be a great introduction for some people into patchouli. It never really gets super earthy. It doesn't get dank. It's just sparkly, smooth, crisp. I mean, it's just the way they put all the notes with patchouli, it really works. It kind of reminds me of vetiver geranium. I know vetiver geranium has got patchouli in the base. These are not the same fragrance, but this does kind of remind me of that fragrance. The notes on this fragrance are as follows. Green notes, patchouli, orris. In the mid, patchouli and mimosa. And in the base, you've got patchouli, marshmallow, civet. Never really goes into animalic territory, but it does have this, I don't want to say powderiness, but it's got this warmth in the base. So I'm assuming that is the civet. Very nicely done. One I think people should check out. Soul Patchouli. All right, so next up, 2015 release, Amber Elixir. Of all of the fragrances I looked into and tried to do research on before I made purchases from this particular house, Amber Elixir had the most reviews written, and it had the most positive reviews, okay? So the way I would describe this fragrance would be, in the opening, it is a slightly boozy, kind of woody, touch of sweetness, touch of spice. All right, in the very first blast, and then it begins to transition into like a nice warm amber, but the woods are right there, almost neck and neck with it. Eventually, the woods kind of fall to the back and the dry down, and you get a little bit more sweetness from the tonka. But there's this nice little, slightly smoky accord that kind of comes into this particular fragrance, and it's really nice. It's got solid projection, it's got solid sillage, it's got nice longevity. So it's an above average fragrance, one that's worth checking out. These are the notes. In the opening, you've got rum, black pepper, grape, divana, dried fruits. The mid, you've got amber, saffron, labdanum, cashmere, cedar. In the base, you've got teak wood, sandalwood, tonka bean, castoreum, and musk. I never really get a lot of musk in this particular fragrance, but the base of the fragrance does have a certain warmness that could be attributed to the musk note. So again, really nice one. This is Amber Elixir. 2017 release. This is Monarch. This is a fragrance that I would quite simply describe as an aromatic spicy. Some people might say barbershop, but for me, not quite. It's kind of, sort of, but not quite. It's more of an aromatic spicy, and it kind of stays that way throughout the life of the fragrance. It's got some green touches, a little bit of musk, boss CEO vibes all day long. Honestly, that's what the fragrance feels like. This is more on the expensive side of their fragrances. Even Gray Market, for me, it was about $125. But this is one that I can definitely recommend. Again, it has classic stylings. So think Grey Vetiver, think Beau de Jour. Not to say that this one smells like those fragrances, but it kind of has that feel, boss CEO type, vibe, professional. It could be a signature scent, so it's one of those type of fragrances. Notes are pepper, juniper, lemon, jasmine, clove, cypress, woody notes, moss, balsamic notes, musk. It's got a nice lemon pepper opening. Again, it's got green touches. The clove is just right. It adds the spiciness to it, but it never really goes into like the whole BO, vibe. Just think, professional, formal, boss CEO. It's kind of got that Grey Vetiver vibe from Tom Ford. It's kind of got that Beau de Jour vibe from Tom Ford, but it doesn't smell like either fragrance. It's got its own vibe, classic touches, very masculine. Signature scent. It could be a signature scent, but it's definitely going to fit a certain personality. So one that I could definitely recommend. It's on the higher end for their fragrances. Even Gray Market, it cost me about $135, $125, $135, somewhere in that ballpark. But I think it's worth it. So there you go, Monarch. Last up, my favorite of the four. This is Vanilla Oud. This is a 2015 release, and wow, I really like this one. It's got a really nice boozy opening. It's got this warmth to it, slight sweetness. The oud, I can't say if it's real oud or not, but it's got this nice, like warm, kind of smoky, rich, woody feel to it. And eventually it kind of changes into this creamy, smoky feel, extremely nice. It's got some kick to it. I know when I first tested it, I just put on one spray. My wife was complaining in the other room, like, what did you just spray? It's crazy, that's too strong. So I know when it gets cold outside, this is gonna cut through the cold. This is gonna be a great fragrance for that. In the opening, you've got apple, bergamot, rhubarb, saffron. In the mid, you've got cashmere, amber, oud, cyclamine, jasmine, rose, violet. In the base, you've got vanilla, oud, sandalwood, vetiver, tonka bean, gaiac wood, patchouli, cedar, musk. Very well put together fragrance, as I said. It's got nice projection. It's got nice longevity. I know it's going to cut through the cold. it's got that appeal. It's just got that certain something that I think that this is going to be a fragrance that's going to really draw positive attention. Okay, so these are the 4 fragrances, guys. I thank you so much for checking out the video. I'm really happy to be able to present the House of Vertus on my channel. This is not a paid review. I bought all the fragrances with my own money. I just happened to stumble across this house as I was looking through fragrances on fragrancenet.com, and I'm really happy with the purchase. So I definitely wanted to share with you guys, and hopefully, you guys will take the time to research this particular brand and see if it's anything that they've got that you'd like to try to pick up. Again, thank you guys for checking out my videos, checking out the channel. On my 1K giveaway, I reached out to a few of you guys to give the prize. Nobody ever got back to me. Listen, if you guys are interested in getting this prize, hit me up in the comments on this particular video. Count me in. I'm going to hit you guys right back. One lucky person will get the prize. It's been sitting on my shelf for the longest time. I want to get it out to you, and hopefully somebody will get the opportunity to enjoy these gifts. So again, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon. Peace.